Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances of the Shri Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's class. Today we continue with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16, verses 26 and 26 to 30. And this is the discussion that we are in where the Dharma, the bull, is asking questions to Mother Earth, the cow. And after the series of questions, Mother Cow answers the bull Dharma. And without further delay, we'll go straight into the verse. And we are very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Shri Prabhupada Maharaj.
Happy to be back. Okay.
Haribol Maharaj.
Yeah, the basis is to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Sure. Marge, would you be able to increase the volume on your side, Marge, please, if you don't mind?
How's that? Is that better?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Marge.
Yeah, it's just a matter of increasing the larynx. That's all.
A little extra work, right, Marge, sometimes.
Always. Okay, here we go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Satyam Saucham Dayam Shantis Taga Santosha Arjavam Samodamastapasam Yam Titikso Parati Srutam Jnana Viriktam Asvaryam Sauyam Tejubalam Sritihi Swatantram Kausalam Shantir Dayam Mardavam Evacham Pragalbhyam Prasayam Silam Saha Ojam Balam Bagaha Gambiram Staryam Astitam Kirtir Mano Nahankritihi Etad Chanye Cha Bhagavan Nityayatra Mahagunaham Artha Mahatvam Ichchat Bir Navidyanti Swam Sma Karhichit Dedaham Guna Patrena Sri V Nivesena Sampratam Socham Vivahitam Lokam Papmanam Kali Nekshitam. So, in him resides, and then there's 20, 30, 40 qualities listed. Truthfulness, cleanliness, intolerance of another's unhappiness, the power to control anger, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, steadiness of mind, control of the sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, the power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kindheartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimity, determination, perfection of all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, being as a personality of Godhead, eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from him. That present personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all goodness and beauty, Lord Sri Krishna has now closed his transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. So I'm sorry to see this condition of existence. So, Mataji, who's speaking? The bull?
Marge, is the cow that's answering the bull?
Oh, so the cow is speaking.
Yes, Marge.
Okay. So that's Mother Earth.
Yes, Marge.
Purport. Even if it were possible to count the atoms of smashing the earth into powder, still it would not be possible to estimate the unfathomable transcendental qualities of the Lord. This said that the Lord Ananta has tried to expound the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord with his numberless tongues. And for that numberless years together, it has been impossible to estimate the qualities of the Lord. The above statement of the qualities of the Lord is just to estimate his qualities as far as a human being is able to see. But even if it is so, the above qualities can be divided into many subheadings. Accordingly, Srila Jiva Goswami, the third quality, intolerance of another's unhappiness, can be subdivided into protection of the surrendered souls, 2, well wishes for the devotees. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord states that he wants every soul to surrender to him only, and he assures everyone that if one does so, he will give protection from the reactions of all sins. Unsurrendered souls are not devotees of the Lord, and thus there is no particular protection for everyone in general. For devotees, he has all good wishes, and for those who are actually engaged in loving transcendental service of the Lord, he gives particular attention. He gives direction to such pure devotees to help them discharge their responsibilities on the path back to Godhead. By equality, 10, the Lord is equally kind to everyone as the sun is equal in distributing its rays everywhere. Yet there are many who are unable to take advantage of the sun rays. Similarly, the Lord says that surrendering unto him, therefore they suffer from all material, unable to surrender unto him. Similarly, I'll read that again. The Lord says, surrendering unto him is the guarantee of all protection from him. Able to accept this proposition, and therefore they suffer from all material miseries. But even though the Lord is equally well-wishing to everyone, the unfortunate living beings, due to bad association only, is unable to accept his instructions in toto, and thus, for the Lord is never to be blamed. He is called a well-wisher for the devotees only. He appears to be partial to his devotees, but factually the matter rests on the living being to accept or reject equal treatment by the Lord. The Lord never deviates from his word of honor. When he gives protection, assurance of protection, the promise is executed in all circumstances. It is the duty of the pure devotees to be fixed in the discharge of duty entrusted to him by the Lord, or the Lord's bona fide representative, the spiritual master. The rest is carried on by the Lord without a break. The responsibility of the Lord is also unique. The Lord has no responsibility because all his work is done by his different appointed energies. But still, he accepts voluntary responsibility in displaying different roles in his transcendental pastimes. As a boy, he was playing with the part of a cowherd boy. As the son of Nanda Maharaj, he discharged responsibility perfectly. Similarly, when he was playing the part of a Kshatriya as the son of Maharaj Vyasadeva, he displayed all the skills of a martially spirited Kshatriya. In almost all cases, the Kshatriya king has to secure a wife by fighting or kidnapping. This sort of behavior for a Kshatriya was praiseworthy in the sense that the Kshatriya must show his power of chivalry to his would-be wife so that the daughter of the Kshatriya can see the valor of her would-be husband. Even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Ram, displayed such a spirit of chivalry during his marriage. He broke the strongest bow called Paradami, and achieved the hand of Sita Devi, the mother of all opulence. The Kshatriya spirit is displayed during marriage festivals, and there is nothing wrong in such fighting. Lord Sri Krishna discharge such responsibility fully because although he had more than 16,000 wives, in each and every case he fought like a chivalrous judge and thus secured a wife. To fight 16,000 times to secure 16,000 wives is certainly possible only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He displayed full responsibility in every aspect of his different and pastimes. Bring it up farther. We'll keep going up the page. Up, 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 up. Okay, stop. The 14th quality, knowledge, can be further extended into 5 subheadings, namely intelligence, gratefulness, power of understanding of circumstantial environments, of place, object, and time, perfect knowledge of everything, and knowledge of the self. Only fools are ungrateful to their benefactors. The Lord, however, does not require benefit from anyone besides himself because he is full in himself. Still, he feels benefited by the unalloyed services of his devotees. The Lord feels grateful to his devotees for such unsophisticated, unconditional service and tries to reciprocate it by rendering service, although the devotee also has no such desire in his heart. The transcendental service of the Lord is itself a transcendental benefit for the devotee, and therefore the devotee has nothing to expect from the Lord. On the assertion of the Vedic aphorism, Sarvam Kalam Midam Brahman, we can understand that the Lord, by his all-present rays of his effulgence called Brahma Jyoti, is all-pervading inside and outside of everything, like the omnipresent material sky, and thus he is also omniscient. I'll be right back. As far as the beauty of the Lord is concerned, he has some special features that distinguish him from all other living beings. And over and above that, he has some special, attractive, beautiful features by which he attracts the mind of even Radharani, the supermost beautiful creation of the Lord. He is known, therefore, as Madan Mohan, or one who attracts the mind of even Cupid. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhu has scrutinizingly analyzed other transcendental qualities of the Lord and affirms that Lord Krishna is the absolute supreme personality of Godhead, Param Brahman. He is omnipotent by his inconceivable energy, and therefore he is the Yogeshwara, or the supreme master of all mystic power. By the Yogeshwar, his eternal form is spiritual, a combination of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. The non-devotee class cannot understand the dynamic nature of his knowledge because they are satisfied to reach up to his eternal form of knowledge. All great souls aspire to be equal in knowledge with him. This means that all other knowledge is ever insufficient, flexible and measurable, whereas the knowledge of the Lord is ever fixed and unfathomable. Srila Sutta Goswami affirms in the Bhagavatam that although he was observed by the citizens of Dwarka every day, they were ever increasing anxious to see him again and again. The living beings can appreciate the qualities of the Lord as the ultimate goal, but they cannot attain the status quo of such qualities. This material world is a product of Mahatattva, which is the state of the Lord's dreaming condition in his yoga nidra mystic slumber in the causal ocean. And yet, the whole creation appears to be factual presentation of his creation. This means that the Lord's dreaming conditions are also factual manifestations. He can therefore bring everything under his transcendental control, and thus wherever and wherever he does appear, he does so in his fullness. Okay, bring it up again. Okay, the last paragraph. The Lord, being all that is described above, maintains the affairs of the creation, and by doing so, he gives salvation even to his enemies who are killed by him. He is attractive even to the topmost liberated soul, and thus he is worshipful even by Brahma and Shiva, the greatest of all demigods. Even in his incarnation as Purusha Avatar, he is the Lord of the creative energy. Creative material energy is working under his direction, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9:10. He is the control switch of the material energy, and to control the material energy in the immovable universes, he is the root cause of the innumerable incarnations in all of the universes. There are more than 500,000 incarnations of Manu in only one universe, besides other incarnations of different universes. In the spiritual world, however, beyond the Mahatattva, there is no question of incarnations, but there are plenary expansions of the Lord in different Vaikunthas. The planets in the spiritual sky are at least 3 times the number of those within the innumerable universes in the Mahatattva. And all the Narayan forms of the Lord are but expansion of his Vasudeva feature. And thus he is Vasudeva, Narayan, and Krishna simultaneously. He is Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murare, He Natha Narayan Vasudeva. Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murare, He Natha Narayan Vasudeva. All in one, his qualities therefore cannot be counted by anyone, however great one may be. Omagyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Savakaya Chaksun Militanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desitarma. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gauda Bhaktivinoda Panchakalpati Visyati Pa Sindhu Evacha Kitanam Bhavane Vaishnave Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So many important to being major. One of the points is that the Lord is great beyond anyone's conceivable imagination, ideas, speculation. Not only is he great, but each one of these qualities, he exemplifies them in its perfection. He is the perfection of tolerance, perfection of faithfulness, perfection of knowledge. Not just an indication of these qualities in small portion, but each of the qualities in its limited definition or unlimited definition, not limited. So not only does the Lord have innumerable qualities, innumerable is not a word. There is no, if you want to make a number that describes infinity, they make that. They take 17, 1 7, and put 15 zeros after the number 17, which indicates that there is something infinite. It's not countable. We go from hundreds to thousands to millions to billions to trillions. But after that, it becomes uncountable. And then so this number indicates we cannot come close to describing the innumerable qualities of the Lord. It's mentioned throughout the Shastras, especially in the Bhagavatam, that an Antashesh, a multi-headed serpent, he has 1,000 heads. He's holding up all of the universe. He is the principle of gravity, actually. And he keeps the universes on his head. And the universes are so huge, but for him, these universes are like little tiny mustard seeds. And at the same time, his service is to expound the glories of the Lord. And he keeps doing that. He doesn't stop. He constantly chants the glories of the Lord. And he's been doing it since time immemorial, and he doesn't repeat the same glory. So when they say God is great, it doesn't really tell you actually what it means. His greatness is inconceivable. His qualities are the category of his greatness. And each one of the qualities is great in itself. When he uses it, it becomes perfection. So how can we really even understand him? The one thing about the Lord is that one of the qualities that he is very much loved for is his mercy upon the fallen conditioned souls. Out of all of the qualities, like it says here, one of them is intolerance of another's unhappiness. That means he always wants to make all living entities happy, and he performs various activities in order to do that. His attractive qualities bring us more and more closer to him, so we can understand how he interacts with his devotees. For his devotees, everything is centered around. He doesn't take much pride in his own qualities, although they are glorious and innumerable. But he takes pride in the fact that he is the servant of his devotees, by giving the devotees whatever they need to live happily and reach the goal of life, which is to come back home, back to Godhead. He's offering that same thing to the non-devotees, but the non-devotees don't want it or can't recognize its greatness, and therefore they remain in their, what we say, myopic or limited consciousness, and they simply struggle uselessly to achieve something that is so puny and not even worth achieving, and suffer so much in trying to get it, suffer even more when they lose it. But the Lord doesn't give up on the non-devotees. He inspires the devotees to go out and wake up the non-devotees through his mercy. And what is his mercy? And the greatest form of all mercy that he shows in this age, of course, we might use that word greatest in different categories, but the greatest is that he makes himself available by the chanting of his holy name, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It's sometimes we take it for granted. Oh yes, we have to chant Hare Krishna. But if you read the scriptures, you'll see that the glories of the holy name are beyond anyone's estimation. Even the scriptures cannot glorify the holy name. It's not possible. Because it's way beyond, it's not only Krishna himself, but it's Krishna with the ultimate principle of loving mercy to all of the souls in existence. He's making that gateway back to him through this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is him himself in the form of transcendental sound. And he makes it so easily available through himself as the devotee incarnation of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has eagerly not only distributed the holy name, but he shows how glorious the holy name is by his own practice of chanting his own name. When he chants his own name, he cries in ecstasy, experiencing such unlimited happiness that is not describable even by the scriptures, even by the personified Vedas. So that is his ultimate principle of mercy, or quality, you might say, is that he makes the holy name so easily available. And when devotees get together and chant the holy name, it says they forget all of their suffering. They become free from envy. They become free from fear. And they enjoy unlimitedly the association of each other as they chant and dance, glorifying the Lord in his holy name, which is so easily available, yet the highest form of happiness that can be experienced, and the ultimate principle of worship of the Supreme Lord. The holy name has unlimited qualities, just as Krishna has unlimited qualities, because it is Krishna, but in the form of mercy that he gives to the conditioned souls. So one who seriously and eagerly takes part in chanting of the holy name and makes that the most important part of their day-to-day life, whether it's kirtan or whether it's japa, one who does that will actually understand the beauty and glory and experience the happiness of Krishna consciousness. Many times devotees, they struggle and they're unhappy, they run into problems, there's so many things. And the problem is they're not chanting enough, or they're not chanting with that kind of consciousness that Krishna's mercy is found completely in the holy name. And if all I have to do is sincerely try to chant the holy name and offer that chanting to Krishna as a form of devotion, and you will not experience any suffering in this world. Nothing, zero. Not even the thought of suffering will not even enter into your mind. You may see others suffering, and therefore you become compassionate towards them, and you want to give them some mercy. So you also want to distribute that holy name. But for yourself, you are happy. You're not hankering for nothing. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasosati Nakangsati. You're not lamenting for anything. You are satisfied in the practice of chanting the holy name, and which goes along with association and service to the Vaishnavas. The process is so powerful and so direct, and it is Krishna's most merciful quality, and especially in this Kali Yuga, which is so full of inebrities, mistakes, faults, deficiencies, calamities, disasters. The listing is of the descriptions of the inebrities in this age are as long as some of the roadways in our different cities. There is so many problems, but the holy name wipes it all away. Kalir dosha nidhi rajan asti eko mahagunaha kirtana eva krishnasya mukta sangam param vrajat. But we have to chant and chant seriously, make an effort to hear, and take part in this chanting as your life and soul. As it says, whenever the chanting of the holy name is there, what else is needed? There's nothing else needed. Everything else becomes a witness of the holy name and takes a back seat in the life of a devotee. This chanting is so wonderful. We were just spent 3 days, and you can say 3.5 days in Radhadesh Mellows with more than 1,000 devotees chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And the chanting was just blew the roof off the building, I think. They had to repair the roof. It was so wonderful that, everybody was thinking, what else should we do? There's nothing else to do. So yeah, this chanting is we should not take it for granted and not minimize its importance. We should take this chanting as our life and soul, because it is. It is Krishna. He has so many good qualities as is recommended here. But one of the qualities that was emphasized in this description here, intolerance of another's unhappiness. So Krishna, when he sees someone unhappy, he wants to make them happy. Devotees have that same quality. They become, what we say, they want to do something to bring happiness into the lives of others. And they know what to do, and they also know how to do it. And that is to, just like yesterday, we were coming back from Radhadesh Melons. And we were in the train station, and we met some lady. She was curious of who we were, and then she found out we were the Hare Krishnas, and we asked her, can you take our picture? There was about 35 of us all traveling together. And she was so eager. And after she took the picture, we invited her to sit down with us. And we just started talking. And then gradually, and she joined us on the train, and the devotees a couple of devotees were talking to her, asking questions. She revealed her struggles in Krishna in life. And then she actually became very enthusiastic, and now she's made a plan to come to the temple and be with some of the devotees and chant together. That was just one lady. I was sitting in another section of the train with another lady was just looking. She was across the way from me, and she looked at me, so I offered some respects to her. And then she smiled, and then we got into a conversation, and found out, she's from Spain. She works in the UK, traveling, and yeah, so she also became interested. We gave her some prasadam, gave her some chant, some mantra cards. And she said, after we spent about a half hour talking to her, she said, yes, tomorrow morning I will chant this when I first get up. So she was enthusiastic. And so, yeah, then some of the devotees, they carry Krishna with them. That's why we should always make sure that when we travel, we wear our proper dress so people recognize us. And then they can also take advantage of us like that. And we can also have an opportunity. So these were just 2 small incidents. There were many persons who had come for the first time. I think in the Radhadesh Mellows this year, there was a large increase of newcomers. Usually they get about 800 to 1,000 who come to the program, maybe a little less. But this year there was always over 1,400 people. And there were hundreds and hundreds of devotees who came for the first time. And it was amazing. They were just kind of starry-eyed to see the power of the whole entire program. From 10 o'clock in the morning to Sometimes 11 o'clock at night, the kirtan went on every day, constantly, no breaks. One kirtanier after another. And devotees were chanting, dancing. People, I met some people afterwards. One guy was crying when he was talking to me, explaining how much he just opened up his heart. He just loved the whole thing. Now this is our means to change, to bring Krishna's mercy to the world. The Harinam Sankirtan. And of course, Krishna Prasadam too. We add both of those together. And of course, we have Srila Prabhupada's books, which is a cherry on the cake. So there's so much that we can offer to the conditioned souls. We just have to be enthusiastic. If we're enthusiastic in our own Krishna consciousness and taking advantage of the mercy that the Lord is offering, then we'll inspire others simply by our presence. They will come to us and ask us about who we are and what we're doing. So this is our wonderful, and so Krishna's qualities are so magnanimous, so unlimited, so glorious, but this quality of mercy is what attracts the conditioned souls to Krishna. He's very merciful. Very merciful. Okay, so we can see if anyone would like to add anything or ask a question.
Thank you so much, Marge. Just listening to the pastimes and the wonderful experiences on the train was, and sharing the experiences at Radha Desmelos, and it's inspiring. Two ladies. That's so inspiring. Thank you, Maharaj. Would like to ask devotees, if you have any questions, any comments, please do raise your hand. I'm going to stop sharing so that we can actually see each other. If you can turn your videos on, please do so. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have takeaways, add-ons, please do raise your hand, and I will call upon you in order. Marge, in one of the listings of the 40 qualities, one that caught my attention was intolerance of another's happiness. And from this verse, it is definitely speaking, Mother Bhumi is speaking to the bull, Dharma. And it triggered me, Marge, that, can that be a quality that we as practicing devotees can and should develop?
Well, we do it all the time, right? We see somebody we love who we know, who we're close to, unhappy. We immediately try to do something to make them happy. We do it all the time. We do it with each other, right?
But Marge, how do we develop that quality of tolerance?
I said intolerance of others.
Yeah, intolerance, because sometimes I feel, at least my experience has been, it becomes selective. I want to be intolerant when I can, and what I don't see it's a need, then because I don't have the time, then whatever. Like how can we be like not partial, I think the word is, or not selective, but
well, it's not an add-on. It's something that develops by your consciousness. But as you develop, you also imbibe these qualities, and you learn about the qualities also. So a devotee sees Vidya Vinaya Sampaneg Bhamigavi Hastini Sunichaiva Sapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. A devotee is Pandit. He sees in the heart of all living entities Krishna is there. He sees in the heart of all living entities that person's a spirit soul. So there are devotees who, they're really amazing. They'll go out and just go out and meet people and just tell them about Krishna consciousness. They'll come out of their house, they'll go door to door, they'll speak to people just right off the top of their head, just to try and bring people to some sense of feeling. In other words, they're trying to give them Krishna in some way. So yeah, we see it even amongst our society and people in general. So when you love Krishna, there's the key. The more you love Krishna, the more you love everyone. If you don't, as you develop your love for Krishna, it expands itself out because Krishna is the source and the foundation for everything in existence. No one, nothing is separated from Krishna. Not even the smallest particle of an atom is not separated from Krishna. Krishna is ultimately the all-encompassing absolute principle of existence. But therefore, when we develop our attraction for Krishna, more and more it turns into affection. As that affection develops, that love develops. And when that love develops, yeah, then you see everyone in the same light. You see everyone as being dear to Krishna. Now that's how it works. So if you really want to develop it, just keep working on your love for Krishna. You try to develop more and more love for Krishna. And at the same time, take time to make plans to try to relieve other people's suffering. As a temple president, you're doing that. You're not just managing the temple, you're trying to attract devotees to come and take part in Krishna consciousness. That's what it means. So they can get some benefit. Krishna doesn't need anybody. He's okay. We serve him nicely, so others become attracted to him and want to serve him also. So
Thank you.
we do it. So as you develop your love for Krishna, work on trying to assist others in becoming Krishna conscious. And then it becomes, and these things increase proportionately.
Thank you, Marj. Thank you so much. Yes. The time. Thank you. Mother Sridevi, please go ahead.
Thank you, Ansuya. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, this is such a beautiful verse and such a beautiful purport. In that, we see specifically how much the Lord wants to protect all of us and offers us his protection if we surrender unto him. And I have seen over and over again that my lack of surrender at different points on different aspects of my life causes me to become fearful, doubtful, worried, tense, anxious, etc., etc. And when I give up my own plans and say, okay, Krishna, whatever you want, immediately there's a sense of peace and I'm able to move forward. But why can I not remember this so that the next time some challenge comes or obstacle comes, I again don't slip into that fearful, worrying, thinking, overthinking, hesitating, etc. And just surrender to Krishna instantly instead of trying to figure everything out with my head. That's one part of my question. The second part is, if we become overly confident and say, oh, I'm surrendered to Krishna, whatever, and then don't plan anything, don't do anything, that's taking him for granted and expecting him to do all the work. So I'm not able to really understand how to navigate this.
Well, the last part of your question is, Arjuna had a fight, but Krishna said, your fighting is not the source of victory. I am. But he said, you have to fight. So we may have to make an effort. So that last part is, without making an effort, you don't attract the mercy of the Lord. what's there's an English saying, what is it? It goes, let me think. Can't remember it. It'll come
Is
to me.
it God helps those who help themselves? Is that
Yeah.
the one?
That's it. You got it. You got it. Yeah, and so if you don't do anything, then how can you expect him? And you have to show what you are looking for. And if it's in line with beneficial to you, the Lord will assist you. He does, he's assisting us. He's even assisting you by telling you that this is not the thing to do. And you have to be open to that also. That you can learn by practical experience and by with the advice coming from others. But the fact is, you say when you surrender and then you feel peaceful and then you realize that, you just depend on Krishna, but then you go back again in your struggles to somehow or other. But remembering Krishna, depending on Krishna, really is the feature of success. But Krishna gives you intelligence. And if you don't use your intelligence, then you will not be able to understand how to do things, or what you should be doing or what you should not be doing. That's why there's thousands and thousands of scriptures that guide you according to anukulena and pratikul. What you should do and what you should avoid. If you don't know those things, then you have to ask. But at the same time, we're expected to learn it. That's why Prabhupada said, you have to use your intelligence to become Krishna conscious. If you're just emotionally driven by desire, and there's no intelligence behind the emotions, then you can go in any direction. These two things have to be there, intelligence and emotions. Emotion is bhakti, but bhakti has to be, but if it's not directed, it could go in the wrong direction. That's why intelligence is there. That's when Prabhupada said, this movement will go on by organization and intelligence. And then people will say, well, I don't have any intelligence. Prabhupada said, then get some. You don't have to be intelligent to be successful. You just have to know where to get the intelligence from. That's all. And that comes from Guru, that comes from Sadhu, it comes from Shastra. These are the means by which you acquiesce the intelligence. You leave it
Yes,
up.
Gurudev.
You leave it up to yourself all the time, you may find yourself always lacking in something.
Thank you very much.
Well, you have to be intelligent enough to understand what I said.
Gurudev, I'm writing to you. I'm going to ask you.
Should write down, we should just play the recording over again.
Okay.
Very nice question, Sri Devi. Thank you so much for asking that. Rishabha Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, do you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Loud and clear. Oops, yep, there you are.
So regarding this, the emotion needed to be guided with intelligence. I would actually ask you in two regards. One of them is, I know devotees from Zagreb, they are going to the Radha Dashmelos every year. And they are really ecstatic during that 3 days, but afterwards, you do not see them using so much their intelligence, unfortunately. And it really seems like they are on the mental platform in the end, And even though, yeah, it's good to go to association of devotees, but what of the rest of the year? This is one situation.
We were talking about that yesterday amongst our group. Now after being in this, what we say, accelerated mercy that came with the association with devotees and the glorification of the Lord, what are we going to do? One girl was asking me this yesterday as we were leaving the train station. She said, now I'm going back and I have to face all of my regular life again, and I'm just so confused. I know it's going to be very difficult. So you got to carry what you somehow experience with you. Yeah. And I answered her by saying that you can remember Krishna anytime. You just have to make the effort to remember Krishna. And even if you can't remember Krishna, you should pray to Krishna that please help me to remember you. And if you forget, then you should also pray to Krishna, please, Krishna, don't let me forget you. If you carry Krishna with you by remembering Krishna and by acting for Krishna, then you're still actually in the accelerated mercy. It's still there. It's not like you take a bath and then you go outside and throw some dirt all over you. You take a bath to get clean and then you stay clean. And if you find yourself getting a little dirty again, then you use the same cleansing agent. Again, it requires intelligence. That's why philosophy means to explain what is the intelligent way to do things. That's what philosophy is. We say philosophy, but it's not just a bunch of words. It's formulated intelligence.
Wow, that's really nice said. And also, if you can comment on being compassionate and preaching to people. In the 5th verse of the Nectar of Instruction, it is mentioned that we should come to the Madhya level, use discrimination, and then to use this preaching mercy, compassion in a different ways to different people. There's not like one way to everyone, the same way to everyone. We have to discriminate again to give even a mercy.
Well,
You
yeah,
comment.
you have to see your audience, and yeah, just like if you see a little child, you don't pay obeisances to him. You might give him some prashadam or something, or you might pat him on the head or say something nice to make him feel good. But if you see another devotee, you pay obeisances. So there's ways to interact where there is communication between the two living entities. Krishna showed that in, let's see, let me see if I can remember the verse. Yeah, Anasuya. Go to the 1st canto. I think it's 8th chapter, verse number 22. The number 8, 11, and 22 are coming up in my mind.
22, 1, 8, 22. Maharaj, is that praised by Queen Kunti Maharaj, that chapter?
It's when Krishna was in, what's the 11th chapter of 1st canto? What is that one?
The 11th chapter is Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka.
There you go. That's
Okay,
it.
so it's 1, 11, 22, Maharaj?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Going to share the screen right now.
You can read the verse.
Okay.
Rashab, can you read?
Yes. A second.
Can you see it, Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. The Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurance and awarding benedictions, even to the lowest in rank. Purport as well.
Go ahead.
To receive the Lord Shri Krishna, there were all grades of population, beginning from Vasudeva, Ugrasena, and Gargamuni, the father, grandfather, and teacher, down to the prostitutes and chandalas, who are accustomed to eat dogs. And every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of rank and position. As pure living entities, all are the separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and thus no one is aligned by his eternal relation. Such
Alien.
pure living
No one is alien.
alien by his eternal relation. Such pure living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the modes of material nature, but the Lord is equally affectionate to all his parts and parcels, despite material gradation. He
Okay.
descends. Thank you.
Yeah. So you can see the Lord is greeting everyone, but they're all in different conditions, positions, lifestyles. But he's greeting them according to the translation, bowing down, saying greeting, embracing, smiling, looking, giving a short. So he teaches that in exchanging with different living entities, there's different ways to exchange. With devotees, we should be very kind to devotees, or very friendly to devotees. For devotees, we're always very friendly. For the non-devotees, we might be also friendly, but in a very reserved way. We may shake hands with them. With children, like I say, you can smile, look at them, give it like that. With people who you are, with people who are dear to you, there's embracing like that. All of these different ways that the Lord exhibited are also indicative of how people greet each other in different situations. So,
And what about envious?
the envious
Yeah.
the envious you just neglect. You don't say anything, you don't do anything, the envious you just ignore.
Marge, if I can ask a quick question before I go to Sri Devi, piggybacking on Vrishabhadas Prabhu, if you don't mind, Prabhu. Marge, is envious, those who are envious, are they the only ones that we don't do anything with? We don't say anything, or are there other classes of folks that we also do the same?
Well, in that same verse that he quoted from the Upadeshamrita, there are devotees on first class, second class, and third class platforms. These are three categories. So the second class says, and second class is the operation class by which we conduct our Krishna consciousness. We're meant to be second class. Very difficult to become first class. And third class is something that's undesirable. But it's the beginning of Krishna consciousness for many. Second class means you give your love to the Lord, make friends with the devotees, preach to the innocent, and avoid an atheist and envious non-devotees. These are the four principles by which the second class devotees operate their Krishna consciousness. You're on mute. You're
Oh,
on
sorry, Marge. What I was saying is I had to go up and help Prakshit with something on the other class. So I'm going to play this part of the answer to my question so that I can refresh myself again because he interrupted me.
Okay, you're back.
Yes, Maharaj. Sridevi, please go ahead.
Well, what,
Yes, Marge.
you didn't catch my answer, did you?
No, because Prakshit interrupted me. I put the blame on him. So I'm going to go back and play your answer, Maharaj. I really wanted to hear it. Oh my God.
All right,
He was having laptop issues.
I can repeat it.
Oh, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Yeah, the 3 classes of devotees, first, second, and third. We are meant to be second class in our activities.
The
First-
Madhya Madhikari.
Yeah,
Right?
but exactly. For second class, they love the Lord. They make friends with other devotees. They're friendly. They are they preach to the innocent non-devotees, and they avoid the atheist and envious.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got my answer. Got it. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Because
Very clear.
if you give what does they say? If you give milk to a snake, it'll turn into poison.
Poison.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mm. Thank you, Marge. Thank you. That helps a lot. And thank you, Marge, for repeating your answer. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I should
She-
mention, we had an incident yesterday on the train where I wasn't there. I just found out after. Some devotees were doing kirtan and some people were getting angry. So the devotees stopped, of course, because people were becoming angry. So in order to not to make them angry, we stopped. I didn't. I heard about it. I wasn't there. So, well, yeah. Sometimes I remember when I was doing Harinam in one city in America. I think it was in New Orleans. We called the French Quarter, and it's a real nightclubby place. We were doing Harinam, and one lady, she would come out and we would circulate around and would come back to the same place where she was. She'd come out and start screaming at the top of her lungs, saying, "Stop, stop, stop." So there are a class of people who, they can't hear the holy name. It just causes them such misery, suffering, because they're so envious of the Lord that it comes out.
And
So-
Marge, when that happens, even when devotees go out, we should stop, right? We shouldn't just keep on doing it and create more disturbance, right?
Oh, well, yeah, we, if you're gonna step on a snake, you're gonna get some poison, back. So, but generally, when it comes to preaching, we have to sometimes say things that people don't like, but we do it for the people who are willing to hear. We take our Sankirtan out. This incident that happened yesterday was because these people felt that the train is not the place to do that, and therefore they were disturbed. That gets more into the essence of it. So,
Thank you, Marge. That's a good instruction. I should definitely share that with my book team, book devotees here. Thank you. That was very important. Good point. Sridevi, all yours again.
Thank you, Ansuya. Dear Guru Maharaj, you said at one point that when greeting devotees, we don't offer our obeisances to a small child. But I remember that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, whoever offered obeisances, immediately he would offer obeisances back to them saying, "That's so sweet." And so many people were offering obeisances from far away just so that Maharaj would not offer his obeisances back to them. So if a small devotee child, a Vaishnavi or a Vaishnav, offers us obeisances, that person is still a Vaishnav, even if it's in a child's body. So what is wrong if we offer obeisances back to them?
Nothing wrong with that. I didn't say that. I say you don't go around offering obeisances to children. That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Because if you want to relate to them, they get confused when you do that. Some of them, unless they're actually really advanced kids. So I'm just giving a general etiquette. Try to understand the principle. Don't use an absolute term to cover all general things, you know. You misunderstand the whole thing. Some little child offers obeisances. If you want to offer obeisances back, you can. But you don't go around greeting children like that.
Okay, I understand now better. Thank you for the clarification, Guru Maharaj. I was a little confused. Thank you.
Don't be confused.
Thank you, Maharaj. Yes, Srimati, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the nice class. And I just want to ask you that whenever we face any problems or challenges in life, or we try to take some decisions, so we always struggle whether go that side or this side like that. And as you said, chanting, so at that time, chanting will help us a lot. Maharaj, I just want to clarify that point.
Yeah, chanting, remembering Krishna. My dear Lord, when you're faced with a problem, just remember Krishna and think what to do. He's in your heart.
It means we are not serious in our chanting, or we don't intensify our chanting. That's why also we feel bewildered, or we feel overwhelmed with the problems, Maharaj.
We may be serious in our chanting, but we have to chant seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That means we have to take it serious. Not that, well, I'm serious about chanting, but I'm also serious about getting my rounds done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Serious means that one puts the holy name first. That's what it really means.
Mm.
It belongs in its place. It's not second or third, it's first.
Hope that helps, Srimati.
Yes. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Very, very nice question too. Very nice.
If you
Any
give
other question? Yes, Maharaj, go ahead.
give the holy name its proper position, then you'll get the mercy. The holy name is Krishna and belongs in the first part. And not only is it Krishna, it's the mercy manifestation of Krishna in this age.
Mm-hmm.
It belongs where, if you put it in another position, then you may not derive the mercy that you are looking for. You won't.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, Guru Maharaj. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Srimati. Very nice question. Yes, Sridevi.
Guru Maharaj, just to take up where Srimati's question left off for me, supposing we are unable to go to the temple for Mangalarti, either because where we live it's very dark and it's a little unsafe to go, or you're laughing already, Guru Maharaj. I don't know what to say anymore.
Good. Yeah. Use a flashlight, that's all.
It reminds me of my, when I was in Gitanagri, Sri Devi, and when we had, no car at that time, sometimes it's like, or even the snow, when it was snowing and the cars couldn't go and the men had to go do wake-up service. And I remember my husband and Ekavera, Sarachar, they would take a flashlight and walk through the snow to go to the temple at 3:30 in the morning in Gitanagri. So that reminded me what Maharaj said, take a flashlight.
Nowadays, every cell phone has a light in it. So
What about the cold weather, Guru Maharaj? What about health hazards by going in this cold weather?
Martha Sparsis to Kunteya, Sitnusna Sukadukata, Gapayeno Nityam Stamstitiksuva Bharata. What's more important, going to the temple or staying warm?
Going to the temple.
Okay.
All right. I got my answer.
Thank you, Sri Devi. Yes, Sakshi Prabhu, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to you. So Maharaj, I have a general question. It's regarding to chanting the holy name. It is said that chanting itself is a prayer. And Prabhupada said that chanting is to hear. But Maharaj, some says that you should pray during chanting. Like, I'm so confused. I don't know. Should we pray during, while we chant, or should we stop our chanting and in between we should pray? How it goes, Maharaj? I'm very confused.
Do you know what a prayerful mood is?
I'm sorry, Maharaj.
You know what a definition of a prayerful mood? You can make a prayer, but there has to be a mood. There's a mood of praying.
To pray in a helpless condition.
You chant in that way. You chant in that way, then that's praying. That's praying. That's
Maharaj, it happens with me that it comes very artificially. It doesn't come from heart. How do we get that mood of helplessness?
Even if it's artificial, still do it. And then if you continue to do it, it'll become genuine. There's not an old saying. Try to understand this. It sounds like a little hurdy-gurdy statement, but it says, fake it till you make it. The process works, even though we don't feel like we should feel when we're doing it. But if we keep practicing it, it'll start to change. It'll become like you want it to be. You can't do that in material life, but you can do that in spiritual life, because Krishna is the absolute principle of all success. So if you're praying to, even if you don't feel it's proper to pray to Krishna, it's necessary to pray to Krishna. You're doing the right thing. Even if you don't feel it, it doesn't matter. Just continue. It works.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I was initially confused. I thought that analogy we don't use here. So thank you so much for clarifying. Hare Krishna.
Is everything clear now? Okay.
Yes, absolutely, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
And try to hear. That's all.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice question, Sakshi. Thank you so much. Any other questions from devotees? I think I missed something in the chat. I see something new popping up. Okay, that Vishapa Prabhu was saying thank you. Any other questions before we end the class? I'm just looking down to make sure that I don't miss any hands going up. Okay, thank you, Srimati. We would like to remind devotees that from February 1st through February 18th, coming up in the next day or two, Marge will be giving a class on the overview of Bhagavad Gita from the 1st through the 18th. So the first 18 days in February. So please do keep that in mind and block your dates, your calendar for the classes by Maharaj on the Bhagavad Gita overview. So just a quick reminder on that. If there are no questions, Marge, would you like to end with? Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry, Marge.
Yeah, there's a slight mistake in what you said. And
Oop,
that
I'm
is,
sorry, Marge.
there's 4 class givers, not just me, covering the 18 days.
Okay.
Let me see. We have Prem Kishori is one, myself, maybe Srimati knows the other 2, right?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. It's Vrindavan Prabhu and Bhutavana Prabhu.
Bhavana Prabhu, Vrindavan Prem Kishori from America, and myself. Prem Kishori is the one that introduced this whole program. She's been doing it. She's expert at it. So she thought we would be great for the devotees to go deeper or learn more about the Bhagavad Gita, because it's the foundation of all knowledge.
It will be 18 days, 18 chapters summaries, each day 1 chapter, Mataji's and Prabhuji's.
Okay. So yeah, Sukha Mataji, it's 1 chapter a day for 18 days, covering the 18 chapters.
That's going to
Yes.
be, we'll speak maybe a little longer than a half hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and we'll open it up for questions like that.
Perfect.
Each speaker, the chapters are divided up accordingly. It's not like one person goes and the other person goes. There's a kind of like a program with different devotees go at different days. That's all.
And I hope devotees got that and mark it. And please, those of, if you knew anyone who left the class this morning or missed it, please do pass on that message about the 18 days Bhagavad Gita overview for starting from the 1st through the 8th with 4 speakers, so that everybody is in sync. Thank you so much. Yes, Sridevi, go ahead.
One question. So every day, one whole chapter will be covered, even if it's a very long chapter?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
it's overview.
Yeah, it's like an overview of each chapter, summarizing each chapter. Yes. Did I miss something else in the chat here? Okay, yes, I answered Sukha Mataji's question. Okay. If there are no other questions, Marge, would you like to end with a round of chanting? Yes. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much for a wonderful class and really, really deep points. And thank you, devotees, for asking amazing questions that all of us benefited. And when we hope that you have a wonderful day. Vanchakapdibhyascha, Kripasindobevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki jai.
Yeah.
Oops, hold on.
Yeah, I have two announcements. Haribo?
Yes, Maharaj. Please go ahead.
Two things. One is directed to Srimati. Srimati, can you send a listing of the 18 days, the 4 speakers, and which days that each speaker speaks to me?
Yes, Guru, sure. I'll send.
You just list the 4 names and just put the number of the chapters next to the names, and that we know.
Sure, Guru, sure. I'll do that.
On the WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp? Yes, ma'am.
And general announcements for these are for devotees who are in the UK from 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock this Saturday at Soho Street. We'll be doing 6 hours of kirtan for those who want to come. That's at Soho Street, those in the UK. You can spread the word. So Janavi Jivana might be there. So it's a good chance. She said she's going to try to come. And yeah. So that's, and those of you who are really enthusiastic, you can buy your plane tickets, fly into Heathrow Airport, Tower Kirtan, best restaurant in the UK.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Hari Bol. Have a wonderful day, devotees. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Jai Ho.
Hey,
What did they say?
did you make it back?
Yeah, Maharaj.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you. We've been
Okay.
in touch. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.